In the Trustmark Studios, the one and only Kenny Wayne Jones. Now, let me put this in perspective for you. The American Idol political version was won by Kenny Wayne Jones.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, so you win the American Idol political version of that with
right.
So I have no idea where to start on this. How in the world has this happened? Out of the blue, we hear this. Reading the story, Kenny Wayne Jones says he was handpicked by Barack Obama for his hard work and dedication to home health care in Mississippi. Felt like it was important to highlight the disparities happening here in the Magnolia State. So this is, first of all, is this your full-time job or...
No.
Where does this fit in?
It just fit in on me running around, being Kenny Wayne. The lobbying firm that I have, Mississippi Quality Concepts.
Yeah.
We do have the client that I have are medical healthcare orientated clients. So looking at the disparities in healthcare, looking at the hospitals in Mississippi, go through what they were going through, you almost had to have a whole legislative session to talk about healthcare. And then, at the same time, we deny the $600 million coming from Medicaid expansion.
I want to get to not so much on the merits of the expansion and all of that, but just the minutia that happened. First of all, he's the president of the former president of the United States of America, has a new Netflix series.
Right.
It hasn't hit the airwaves yet, has it?
Oh, yes, it's there. On the 17th. We were going to New York for the groundbreaking at the Pierre Hotel for the big red carpet affair.
Yeah.
We were set up. They had the tickets. Only a few of us could go. Round table with Obama. But the Writers Guild was striking.
Oh.
So they felt that.
Bad timing.
Right, exactly.
Jeez. Now, tell me a little bit about this. He calls you, and how did this go down?
Well, no, the production company called and said, you represent healthcare. We're looking at some of the things you're doing, and we would just like to sit down and talk to you. And I said, of course. So what happened, Paul, they came one day, actually, to the Capitol. And we went back and forth on that, had a conversation. And from there, it kind of blossomed to what it did. And I never did know until the final hours of the production that the production company belonged to Obama.
So now, am I getting this wrong? Did he come to Mississippi?
Oh, yes. He was here 2 days.
And he was in your home?
Well, we had a balcony scene to film, but they scrapped it because we were having too much fun.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Was there alcohol involved?
I don't know.
Well, you do know, you just won't see it.
I don't know I don't even remember what happened on that balcony that day. All I know, they scrapped the scene because we were having too much fun.
So when did you didn't even know it was Barack Obama who was a part of this, and all of a sudden,
right.
When did you find that out?
Well, it was time for him to come and talk, and they said, okay, we got a gag order on this. President said he's coming to visit with Jones. And in fact, he said he definitely wanted to meet Jones because Jones is interested coming out of state government like he did. So, it was worthwhile conversations. It was a once in a lifetime event.
Sure. To
have the president come to Mississippi, Port Gibson, Jackson, and you don't know. Nobody knew.
How long did he stay there?
Well, we were there a couple of hours after, I got through barbecuing and, so.
So you fed him, and then did the Secret Service come in beforehand, or what?
Oh yeah, definitely. They got dog Secret Service too. They were running around there keeping everything straight too.
So before he actually got there,
yes.
They had to sweep the house and everything.
They had to sweep everything. That's why everything was under, everything. They swept every place we were. Every place we had to go, they swept everything.
You leave the house, or was all of it contained in the home?
Well,
as far as the interview.
Well, we went to get beer. I mean, somebody back there had some beer, but we went to get it, so we could talk. So.
What do you mean we went to get some beer? You just got in the car with him?
It was a beer run. What do you think?
Wait a minute. You just jumped in the car, went down to the 7-Eleven, and got a 6-pack of beer?
An 18-pack. Come on.
Come on.
Hey, look, hold on. It was all good. It was all good. So
Secret Service go with you there?
they were closely behind you. They were closely behind you. Right. They went to the grocery store before we even got there. So they were there when we got there.
Who was with him besides the Secret Service?
Nobody. Mm-mm.
All the cameras and everything were there? Or did
all the cameras were there. They can come in. These people work extremely hard, and they work fast. They set that scene up. They have to get the lighting right. They have to get the sound right. And once they do all that, they're ready. But their equipment is so advanced. They mic you up, and you're ready to go.
Yeah. But you said you had a chance to sit down and maybe eat some food together?
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I got some highlight, and I got the reels. I got the reels, so you know. But we got a couple more projects coming up, so I still have to kind of be careful.
Well, when will this be seen, or was it already seen on the air?
Oh, it's on the air now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's on the air right now. You can go to Netflix and pull up Working and watch 4 episodes. And what they wanted to do, they wanted to show you the people that you don't even see, the service workers, all the way up to the CEOs, right?
Yeah. What was the total length of how much airtime or FaceTime that you got?
Oh, they filmed for 2 years, Paul. They get an excessive amount of hours just to pull
a few clips in.
Right, a few clips, because, they filmed so much more than they were able to. They just didn't have the time to put that in there. So they had to edit.
I've been in this business a long time, and I've never interviewed anybody or have been part of this where when you actually see what actually airs,
right,
you look and say, "Is that it? That was it?
That's it. You've been filming me for 2 years,
yes,
and that's it."
Well, but do you feel like the message got out there for what you wanted it to say?
The message and the continuity was exactly on point. It was a well done docuseries. On trying to get your point across, and I really do think people will look at the jobs that people do and give them a different amount of respect for what they do.
Well, thematically, is that what the program is about? The Netflix series is about just working Americans, kind of like what Mike Rowe did, or working only in healthcare?
No. Healthcare was just a part of it. Yeah. You had the hotel industry. You had
like a CEIU.
Yeah, artificial intelligence, all of that. And the contrast was some folks they call them knowledge workers like you. You got the knowledge of this business and you good at what you do. Mm-hmm. So no artificial intelligence is going to come and be a Paul Gallo.
I don't know.
Well, I don't think so.
I don't know. You know what worries me, speaking about that, because I read a story, and if you have, well, let me save this for when we come back in a second or two. But if you downloaded that app, Chat GPT, have you got it in yours?
No, I don't.
And then you start hearing more and more about how smart this thing is, what it can do, what it's looking for. Will it take the next step and hold power over you? If you have anything in your phone that you don't want it to know, a couple of messages or contracts that you've cut with people or some things you might have said, and it's in there because you put it in your phone.
Okay.
You put it in your phone.
My phone is an open book. Paul, I learned my lesson. My phone is an open book. I won't even text you and say good morning.
Oh, I'm the same way here. No problem at all. But a lot of people are not in that situation. Back with more next. All righty, back with Kenny Wayne Jones. Well, I mean, it's something that you not only you, but your kids and your grandkids will tell the story when Barack Obama came to Kenny Wayne's house.
Right.
So it's this, I mean, you can go back when presidents visit, like when Biden visited Rolling Stone, which he corrected a little bit later on.
Okay.
Yes, not Rolling Stone. But also, remember when Bill Clinton visited Hicks and had some hot tamales in Clarksville?
Exactly.
So, I mean, it is, no matter who the president is, whether it's, Theodore Roosevelt in Onward, Mississippi, those things are very, very memorable. So I'm sure you got enough pictures of this.
Oh, yeah, got you, because they sent all the footage after the fact. They kept the footage until everything was complete, but now they've sent all the footage for you to enjoy later on, all the pictures that you hadn't seen and all of that. So it's, I got quite a few pictures with the president, a lot of interaction on film with the president. One of the biggest thing is he didn't know that these home care providers in Mississippi who walk into the house to take care of folks.
Yeah.
That was interesting to him because they could only get paid a certain amount of money from the healthcare side, but they're so critical to people not wanting to leave their homes and be taken care of. And one of the CEOs that he looked at, Ms. Felton, for example, at Home Care, is one of the largest employers in Mississippi. And that's not known by the general public. So, from Louisiana to Mississippi, I think she hires more people in home care than McDonald's. So, really? In the area. So, I mean, hey.
What's the name of that service?
At home care.
At home.
And then I lobby for the association. I lobby for the adult daycare services also. So, there's a lot of similarities with them on what they're doing. Medicaid agency is a critical part of what they're doing to make them successful at what they're doing. So it's been a real long journey with them the last 3 years. So it's been nice.
Kenny Wayne Jones. Kenny, when you found out that Barack Obama was going to be there and in your house, how much lead time did you have? Because I know you probably got on the phone and said, "Guess who's coming over here?"
No, I couldn't get on.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
I couldn't get on the phone and say anything because
they wouldn't let you.
Look. I'm thinking that's the president. The minute you dial your phone, they listening to you on that. So I just kind of sit back. I had a couple of days. It was actually a day and a half. And I said, hey, okay. The Secret Service came in. They did what they had to do, and it was just a follow up until the process. But it was a one time. Paul, I wasn't even uncomfortable. I actually had fun.
What did you know about the man that you didn't know before? Just you had a chance to meet him.
Well, I always thought he was cool. He really is cool.
Yeah.
I thought he was cool until he sit there with you, and he is really, really a cool guy. So down to earth. We talked about so many things. I told him I was getting close to retirement age, and he said they're not going to let me out the game because you're too good at what you do. You're always going to have something before you. And I said, thank you.
Yeah, but his hair is a little grayer than yours now.
That's right. I'm trying to leave mine as black as I can, long as I can.
All right. One final question here. What was the name brand of the beer that he drinks?
Look.
Come on.
I don't know what they were drinking.
You didn't go out there and buy some Schaefer's, did you, or something
I don't know
like that?
what they were drinking. All I know, it was leaving quickly.
Was it more? Yeah. Tell me it was Bud Light. Just tell me it was Bud Light.
I don't know. Only a few beers go good with a good cigar. So I don't know what they were doing, but it was all right.
I hope he was pleased with our Mississippi barbecue. So.
Oh yeah, I burned the little hot dogs up, and he put some relish on it, and we were good to go. Little deal sausage too.
To it, so. Look, I mean that no matter who the president of the United States is, to have him in your house and feed him dinner, that is and I don't. How are you going to top that next week?
I don't know. I think that one's going to be hard to top.
I would think so.
Yeah.
All right. So, your thoughts on this Medicare expansion, Medicaid expansion?
Right.
I mean, have you seen the numbers on this?
I've looked at the numbers the whole time, and it just made fiscal sense for us to go. I mean, I can get the politics. I understand that. But this makes fiscal sense for Mississippi to do this based on where health care industry as a whole is in Mississippi. And that's the only thing it's based on. It's not based on Republican politics, Democratic politics. Take care of your people.
Here's where I think I am on this one. It does make fiscal sense for the hospitals, not so much for the people who are paying insurance, and not so much for the general fund. But for the hospitals, certainly the ones in the rural areas, it may help them out. And, of course, the people who don't have any insurance are the ones who have insurance and going to drop it for the state plan. So it's not a cut and dried on both sides.
But it's $600 million, Paul.
Well, yeah, but how much from the general fund?
I'm just saying, it's $600 million you're going to bring into your state. Now, at what point do you start to talk about a no-brainer for taking care of Mississippi?
Well, where did you come up with that $600 million figure?
Well, that was the figure that we were looking at when the last time we had a conversation about it. It was $600 million.
How many people are we talking about on the rolls?
I'm not sure.
So how can you figure that? If you're not sure, how can you figure $600 million out?
No, I got it. I got the whole thing. That I
don't know
looked
how
at.
much it is, because in every state that's done this,
Right.
it's almost double what they had anticipated or projected. And we are projecting anywhere from 200 to 300,000 people more, or almost a majority of the people, a slight majority of the people who are in the state of Mississippi. What's our population? 1 point something?
Yeah. So with that being the case, and you're absolutely right, where do we find common ground in that?
Hard to figure it out.
Where does that language come from?
I don't understand this, though. If for some reason you are paying your insurance now, or you are in a higher income, and believe me, I understand that higher income is actually still low and close to the poverty level, to have a little skin in the game, whether it's $15 or $20 or $30 or whatever it happens to be, and then as a subsidy to match that. In other words, you talk about common ground or somewhere in between.
Right.
And a lot of people have this problem too, Kenny, is that if you do have people on insurance, and hopefully you get out of that basket, go to a better job, and you're able to afford insurance even more so.
Right.
Then will them leaving that particular care, the Blue Cross, Blue Shield, whatever it happens to be, make everybody else's rate go up some?
Well, I mean, from a competitive standpoint, you're always going to have that monopoly on some of it. But, just like it just said.
Well, then for the people who have insurance now, you could not tell them that makes fiscal sense.
Well, I don't think it would even make a difference in the policies themselves on what's going to be the final number. Now, if we just passed in the legislature $104 million lifeline, and then the hospital association and CEOs say it's not enough, I mean, come on, we got to do something somewhere.
If you were listening to our program earlier, they may not. Looks like they're not going to get that $104 million.
Okay.
So that's another story, but we can talk about that later.
Okay.
Kenny, as always, my man, final thoughts here as you look back on this historic visit.
I think it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I've had fun going through that process. I mean, to sit down and have interaction with a president like that, and to have future interactions on stuff that's coming that you can't speak about now, I think it's going to be really good. I mean, it's going to get greater later.
So he didn't invite you up for a ball game or anything like that?
We'll be doing a little more than that. Because
bros now, huh?
Yeah, we got a few we got a few projects that's still left that we got to get out of the way.
See, that's what I said. The American Idol political winner is Kenny Wayne Jones. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, as always.
Thank you, Paul.